Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we will gonna discuss the infrastructure as a code which is available in market, right? There is a huge community or maybe huge infrastructure which is based on these tools, right? So we will gonna talk about the Terraform and the OpenTofu, right? So if you have been using the Terraform for years, right? So you might be in a surprise, right? Because after version 1.5, Terraform changed its license, right? Yeah, I mean it's not technically open source anymore. Yeah, that's a big deal. Why? Because this is not a open source. Yeah, you heard that right. After version 1.5, Terraform switched to a new license that limits how it can be used, right? Especially for the business and the platform, right? Whatever that we were using, or maybe we are using, right? The version which you are using apart from 1.5, right? That will not be a kind of the free licensing, right? But don't worry, the open source community did not stay quite right, because what they have done is they have introduced a OpenTofu, right, which is a fully open source alternatives that already gaining series of tractions, right? Let's break down what has changed, why it is matters to you, and whether you should switch to OpenTofu or not, right? So just be with me in this video, and we will talk about in details. And later, I am gonna post the video for the OpenTofu from basics to advanced. One by we will talk about the content as well, right? So let's start. First, let me understand what is Terraform, right? So here you can see that I am on the official page of the Terraform, which is talking about that Terraform is an infrastructure core tool that lets you build, change, and version infrastructure safely and efficiently. Yeah, that's true. It is a very good IAC tool created by the HashiCorp, and which lets you define and provision your infrastructure, right? Servers, networks, database. It is using very simple and declarative code, right? There is no hidden truth or false, right? It is used by many companies all over the world to automate the deployments and the management and the managed cloud infrastructure, right? But what happened is last year, somewhere maybe August or maybe 2 3 months up and down, HashiCorp announced a major change. What is that major change is that they have changed the licensing from BSL, which is a business source license, right? And yeah, BSL allows the source code to be visible but restrict how it can be used. That's what that matter is, right? Especially if you're building a competing product or a SaaS offering, right? So many community this proc the trust Terraform had built as a truly open tool, right? So let's see what was that change. So I have opened one of the license related frequency ask question from this SECOP, like what they have changed. So you can see that somewhere in August 2023 this article was updated, what they have changed and what they are bringing, why what limitation they have opt on, what are the design to be drop in replacement for the Terraform 1.5x, right? It is fully compatible, that's fine, but like what exactly it was changed, what all other implications, what other impact on the integration, whatever the platform you have done, whatever the commercial customer it is using. So I'll gonna post this link under this video. You can go through and you can see what has changed, right? So let's focus on the now the OpenTofu, right? Because OpenTofu, it is a kind of the community. What community has done after this, that they just forked the all the code and they named it to the OpenTofu, right? Initially, it was a part of OpenTF initiative, right? But OpenTofu is the and yeah, one more thing, and it is backed by the Linux Foundation, right? And it is a completely open source, maintained and contributed across the globe, right? So it is designed to be drop-in replacement of the Terraform 1.5x, right? And why it is matter? It matters because it is not about the license, right? It is about the I would say that about the control, right? If your infrastructure depends on the Terraform and the license changes, your risk profile changes too, right? Because you need to think what's free to do today might cost tomorrow, right? Or even block your product. So that's what that OpenTofu puts that control back in your hand. No legal areas, no gray areas, no cost involved, right? So it's just a complete infrastructure automation tool, right? And it's not just like all these things, right? Because has a very good community support where we have the major community contribution, adoption of the big DevOps player as well, right? So all these things happening across these OpenTofu, right? So what do you think that OpenTofu is worth trying? Yeah, absolutely right. Whether you have concern about the licensing, vendor lock-in, or maybe just want to support the open source software, right? So I would say OpenTofu is a very powerful and community first alternatives, right? So we need to think about this OpenTofu if you guys are already using the Terraform, right? So I am just gonna launch a, a another series, right, where we will talk about the OpenTofu from the basic to the advanced, right? Like how you can install the OpenTofu, how you can understand what how OpenTofu works, and what are the infrastructure it can manage, right? What are the all other supported? What is the documentation? How you can read? What are the all providers we have that? So all these things we will discuss one by one once we start this as a our this OpenToF, right? So if I talk about the content, right, which we gonna discuss in our upcoming series, so here you can see that what are the topics to be covered. We will start with that. What is the brief explanation? Maybe the ISE. I know that you guys are already using it, right? So probably because as I mentioned, it is from the basic to the advanced. So we're gonna start from the introduction of the IAC. Then we'll touch what is the Terraform, the controversy, which we have already discussed, but I will just find out the more relevant content on this. And then the community response about the OpenTofu, right? And what are the support we have from the community if we switch to the OpenTofu, right? Then we start from the explanation. What are the its providers, resource dependency, the command, how you can use the arguments and the variables, state and backup, data sources, provisioner, modules, functions and expressions, right? And at the end, we'll gonna drive one project where we'll start from the migrating existing Terraform code to the OpenTofu, right? So this we will discuss, right? And one more thing, if you have already switched, right? So let me know what was your experience so far. OpenTofu is here to stay, or it just be might be a future of the IAC, right? So we need to think from that perspective, right? So yeah, soon I will be posting this the whole walkthrough, the installation and everything, and we'll see that how we can get it, right? Okay, so make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you want the more detailed video in this. And soon we'll start on this, right? All right. Thank you guys. I will meet you soon. That's is for the day.